Tonight we begin with a story that sent shockwaves through America's aviation system, an event that no one saw coming, and one that would test the limits of our modern infrastructure. At the heart of this crisis was Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, a critical gateway, not just for Alaska, but for the entire nation, and even the world. This airport is a vital link in the global supply chain, connecting continents and communities. On December 29, 2025, during the busiest travel season of the year, the airport was brought to a standstill. A catastrophic digital failure struck without warning, grounding every single flight and leaving thousands of travelers stranded in uncertainty. This wasn't caused by a blizzard, nor was it the result of a security threat. Instead, it was a complete and unprecedented collapse of the airport's core digital infrastructure, crippling air traffic control, flight scheduling, baggage handling, and even basic passenger services. Anchorage, a linchpin for global logistics and Alaska's essential lifeline, was suddenly plunged into digital darkness. The event exposed just how fragile and interconnected our technological systems have become, and how quickly they can unravel. The chaos that followed forced a reckoning for the entire industry. It raised urgent questions. Just how vulnerable is modern aviation to the invisible threads of technology that hold it together? And what can be done to prevent such a disaster from happening again? The crisis began quietly at 7:15 p.m., when a routine software patch in the airport's data center unexpectedly triggered a catastrophic conflict deep within the central operating system. What was supposed to be a simple update instead unleashed a chain reaction that would soon ripple through every corner of Anchorage International. In the blink of an eye, the digital backbone of the airport began to unravel, setting off alarms in the IT control room as technicians scrambled to diagnose the problem. Air traffic controllers' screens flickered, then failed, leaving them momentarily blind to the skies above. The sudden loss of radar and communication data sent a wave of confusion and concern through the control tower. The flight information system went dark, and the digital link between the control tower and airlines was severed. Arrival and departure boards across the terminal faded to black, leaving passengers and staff alike in the dark about the status of flights. Pilots and ground crews lost access to critical data, flight plans, weight and balance, and passenger manifests, forcing a sudden reliance on backup radios and manual processes. Crews scrambled to print out paperwork and relay information by hand, a process that was slow and prone to error. Automated baggage systems stopped, leaving luggage piling up. Conveyor belts ground to a halt, and bags quickly accumulated in every corner of the terminal, with frustrated travelers searching for their belongings. TSA agents reverted to slow, manual checks. Security lines grew longer as agents painstakingly inspected each suitcase and verified boarding passes by hand, causing delays and confusion at every checkpoint. The airport's digital ecosystem had collapsed, leaving staff scrambling with outdated methods. Employees rushed to find clipboards, radios, and paper forms, trying desperately to keep operations moving in the face of mounting chaos. At the heart of the chaos was Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, unable to receive its final load sheet and stuck at the gate. The crew waited anxiously, unable to depart, without the critical data that modern aviation depends on. Soon, every aircraft at Anchorage faced the same blackout. No digital clearances, no safe departures. Pilots sat idle in their cockpits, waiting for instructions that never came as the entire airfield ground to a halt. The airport was paralyzed, its systems crippled, and its people stranded. As the minutes ticked by, it became clear that the crisis was just beginning, and no one knew how long it would last. The decision to ground all flights was immediate. Safety demanded it. With digital systems down, pilots couldn't get accurate weight and balance data, making takeoff too risky. Air traffic controllers lost their primary tools, forced to rely on basic radar and voice communication in a complex airspace. Manual workarounds were too slow and error-prone for modern traffic. The only responsible choice: halt all movement, secure the airport, and restore system integrity before resuming operations. Emergency protocols snapped into action as the airport's command center became the crisis hub. FAA, TSA, airport staff, and Alaska Airlines coordinated via landlines and satellite phones, rerouting incoming flights and securing the airfield. Alaska Airlines canceled all departures, focused on crowd management, and distributed essentials to stranded passengers. IT and cybersecurity teams raced to diagnose the failure, ruling out a cyber attack and isolating the corrupted code. The process to restore systems was painstaking, but the priority was clear safety and clear communication. The response was a real-time test of crisis management in the digital age. For thousands of passengers, the shutdown meant confusion, anxiety, and a night stranded in the terminal. Families, business travelers, and residents of remote communities faced missed connections, ruined plans, and uncertainty. The information blackout was the hardest. Passengers desperately sought updates as hours dragged on. Hotel rooms filled up. Many slept on airport floors using backpacks as pillows. For Alaskans, the shutdown severed vital links, delaying medical care, supplies, and mail to remote towns. The ripple effects hit global cargo too, disrupting supply chains far beyond Alaska. Behind every grounded flight was a personal story of disruption and distress. Anchorage's shutdown was the latest in a troubling pattern of aviation tech failures. Alaska Airlines had already faced 2 major outages that year, and the industry's reliance on aging, patchwork digital systems has created new vulnerabilities. The 2024 cyber attack on Seattle-Tacoma International was a wake-up call, showing how a single hub's failure can cripple the network. Federal agencies have warned of both cyber threats and internal errors. The Anchorage incident wasn't a hack, but a software glitch with massive consequences. These failures, alongside manufacturing lapses, have shaken public confidence and exposed the urgent need for digital resilience. The lesson software is as critical to safety as the aircraft themselves. As Anchorage recovered from the unprecedented disruption, the aviation industry was forced to confront difficult questions about its digital resilience and preparedness for future threats. The incident served as a wake-up call, highlighting vulnerabilities that had long been overlooked. The crisis exposed the dangers of relying on centralized systems without real-time fail-safes or adequate contingency plans. When a single point of failure can halt global travel, the stakes become clear. In response, airports and airlines are now investing heavily in decentralized, redundant networks and robust backup systems. These upgrades are designed to ensure that even if one system fails, others can seamlessly take over, minimizing disruption. Digital twin technology is being rapidly adopted, allowing engineers to test software updates and system changes in virtual environments before they go live. This proactive approach helps identify potential issues before they impact real-world operations. Communication with passengers is also being overhauled. New low-tech and independent alert systems are being introduced, ensuring that vital information can reach travelers even if digital networks go down. Training for frontline staff is being enhanced, with more frequent emergency response drills and scenario-based exercises. The goal is to empower employees to manage crises effectively and provide better support to travelers during disruptions. The shutdown has accelerated calls for enforceable cybersecurity and IT reliability standards across the industry. Lawmakers and industry leaders are now working together to create regulations that will protect critical aviation infrastructure. Anchorage's silence must be a call to action, a reminder that the invisible infrastructure behind every flight needs constant vigilance and innovation to keep us all flying safely into the future.